And just for reference, that parent that passed away in your
Yeah.
life,
Mm-hmm.
mother,
Mother.
father,
Mother. Yeah.
and do you recall what age that was in your
I
life as
was
well?
26.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to your mother,
Yeah.
what was she
Mm-hmm.
really like?
Uh, she was super caring, very supportive, super spiritual. So like very encouraging along my journey as it relates to the spiritual side. She was very tapped in spiritually. Yeah.
And do you remember the last correspondence you had with her?
Yeah, I do. It was actually encouragement. I was getting ready to do a show, you know.
And where was that show at the time?
It was in Chicago. It was at the University of Chicago, I think. Yeah.
And what was that conversation like?
Anytime I go on the stage, my people always encourage me. You know, I send it in the group chat with my sisters, my pops. I'm just like, yo, I'm finna get ready to hit the stage. My phone will be off. I'll holler at you guys after. And yeah, that little encouragement means a lot to me.
So, just to be more specific, that last correspondence with her was that a FaceTime video
It was a
call?
phone call.
Phone call.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hmm.
And between that last correspondence, how long before she ends up passing from that moment?
You wanna know what's crazy? It was actually hours later,
And how were you notified?
through a phone call.
Now, do you have a favorite memory of your mother you'd like to share with the audience today?
A favorite memory would be her seeing me perform for the first time. Yeah, it was crazy.
And do you recall what age you were, what grade you were in, and where that took place by any
It was
chance?
I was like 22 years old, and I was at the Grammy Museum in Mississippi. Uh, yeah, and I was in the group Next Town down then. Yeah.
And what's the best advice you received from her, or most important thing you learned from her as well? Either or here.
I mean, it's kind of a general thing, but you know, I always put God first, and I feel like that's something I've done at all of the heights in my career. Is I always kept God first and being led by the Spirit.
And was that something that she says to you, or that's just something you gather from her?
Yeah, we've been drilled to be spiritually guided since I was a little kid.
Now, in
Hmm.
regards to your mother,
Hmm.
did she do anything musical as well herself?
Not a musical damn bone in her body.
And mentally,
Yeah,
has this been something you sought any professional help over?
absolutely. Yeah.
And can you get into that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like my mom passed pre-pandemic, and you know, I went back to LA, and it was just kind of hard. I feel like the four walls are caging in, and I just seek the therapist. You know, my primary care doctor actually referred me to this lady he was working with ketamine therapy, and I didn't do ketamine therapy, but the therapist he was working with to operate that practice, she wound up becoming my personal therapist.
And pardon the brain fog here, did you say this was a helpful treatment for you, just dealing mentally with the
Oh,
passing of your mother?
absolutely, absolutely. It actually, you know, besides the hurtful part, you know, through the process of healing, it just like helped me be a better man.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone,
Hmm.
but what do you say to others that might be dealing with the loss of a parent and maybe against mental dealing with a mental health professional or something of that capacity?
Say that one more time.
Okay, circumstances could be different for everyone.
Hmm.
But let's say there's someone out there that's lost a parent themselves,
Hmm.
but maybe against help from a mental health professional.
I mean, I won't force you into it. I feel like life don't come with a grieving manual. I feel like, you know, kind of give it time. You know, give it time. Just don't crash out. That's really the only advice I can really give you. Don't crash out. You know, take your time and know that if you want the help, it's there. You know what I'm saying? If you want the help, it's there for you. Just don't crash out now.
And just for a little background information on this, was this something that you knew you wanted to do, you were open to do from the get go, you voluntarily do, or was it just a conversation with your primary care doctor that led to
Yeah, it
the
was actually
professional help?
like I was dealing with stress. I was dealing with stress. You know, it's no secret that man, we kind of bottle shit up. You know, it's like a thing we do, and my primary care doctor, I started, having symptoms of being stressed out. I'm like, yo, and he just was like, yo, I feel like you need to talk to somebody, and I actually feel like I know somebody that would be really dope for you. Yeah,
Now, I ask you a variety of questions here
for
in
sure.
regards to your mother. Anything else on that subject there?
Nah,